Jeffrey, it's the first time call out of Tennessee. Jeffrey, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Jesse.
Hey, Jeffrey.
I was calling to answer the biblical question.
Are you living from your mind or from your spirit?
I believe I'm living from my mind because that's all I know how to do. I have a question about that. I've been doing the silent prayer and everything, and I still think I'm living from my mind.
And why do you think that you're still living from your mind? Why do you think that?
Because I don't even understand what living from your spirit means.
I understand that. Amazing. And because it's a biblical question, I'm going to have to be limited in what I tell you about it, but I do want to tell you something about it. All right?
Yes, sir.
Living, I'm almost have to answer the question, but I got you. Living from your spirit means to always live in right now and not in your head thinking about the past or the future, but always right now and nothing else exists but now.
Yes, sir.
Have you gone and forgiven?
I did. I don't know if I did it right, but I did.
What happened?
I forget. My mom started crying, and
when they crying, they lying.
and my dad was just looking. He was just looking at me, but he didn't really it didn't really do nothing. Like it didn't really. I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it. And I started listening to you during the pandemic. Right. I've been doing the silent prayer on and off since for about 5 years now.
Nice.
And this last time for about 6 months straight.
When did you say to your mother when you went to her?
Let me see if I can remember. I was just we don't have the best. Me and my parents don't have the best relationship.
Nobody
and
does.
I just said, true. And I just apologized for treating them the way I treated them over the years. And my mom, she asked me, was it because they sent me away for a little bit, and my mom was asking me if that was it, and I was like, no, I didn't like y'all before y'all sent me away. So I didn't know, but I honestly tried. I don't know but now, like, I listen to you a lot, and now I see, like, I don't know my dad's side of the family. And my mom was like, it was too dangerous to go down there. But now I think that it was her trying to keep me away from my dad's side of the family.
Absolutely.
I have another question. I'm sorry. I was just listening to you on the thing on hold, and you were like, don't blame anybody for your feelings. So if my wife is driving me crazy, I don't blame her?
No. Because if you were not already crazy inwardly, meaning that you were not angry or you can see what's going on, that would not be in you, and there's nothing that she can do to drive you crazy. She's only driving you crazy because you're already crazy.
Okay.
That's why you have to overcome emotions. You have to overcome anger. You have to overcome a false feeling of love. You have to overcome all that. And so when you do that, and you will if you stay with it, the world, meaning people, cannot touch you. You can go anywhere in this whole wide world and be a free man. So you got to overcome your anger because you're married to your mama, by the way. The same spirit that's in your mother is in your wife.
Yes, sir. And you said never make a decision.
Right.
And how do you never make a decision?
By not making them.
So, like, I want a different job. How do I go? What do I?
Just see
that a decision?
Yeah, just see that you want a different job. The opportunity to present itself to move forward, and then look for a different job. That's all.
Okay.
Because it's the opportunity that showed you or presented itself to let you know that you want a different job to make more money or to whatever, right? And just do it without even thinking about it. And that is a practical decision. That's opportunity. Even that was given to you by God. It wasn't your own thinking.
Yes, sir. And you always say, do what's right. How do we know what's right?
By staying present. You can't do what's right until you be right. And you be right when you overcome your anger and your ego. You will be right. And when you right, you can't help but do right. But you got to overcome the ego first. Overcome the anger, and then the light will destroy the ego nature, which is not you, and you will always do right as well. How do you deal with your wife?
What do you mean how I deal with her?
When she's driving you crazy?
Think about leaving. That's what I do.
You have children with her?
Yes, sir. Matter of fact, I'm taking my son to the recruiter today. I was going to ask you about that. He's going to the recruiter. He's 18. And I heard you say things about the military before, and I was wondering, now that the Great White Hope is back, do you think the military is a viable option now? I know you said
I believe, I don't know until we see what happened, but I believe now that Donald Trump is back, the military would be a nice place to go. But right now, with the Democrats in control and this black guy running it, ain't no way I'll put my dog in the military. But now that Donald Trump is back, things should be getting better.
Okay, and I don't know how to deal with my wife. I really am like the biggest beta. I hate myself.
Hold on a minute, okay?
Yes, sir.
Hold on. Amazing. Let me go quickly back to Jeffrey, a first-time call out of Tennessee. Jeffrey, you say you hate your wife?
I ain't say I hate my wife. I just said I don't know how to deal with her.
Oh, but I thought you said you hate her.
I do, but I don't want to say that on the radio.
You already said it on the radio. On the radio. And why do you hate her?
I said what I said was she drives me crazy. But
you said that you a major baiter, but I thought I heard you say you hate her.
No. I said she drives. No, the question was, I blame, like you said, don't blame anybody. And I said, so I don't blame my wife for driving me crazy. And you said I was already crazy. There was crazy already in me.
Right.
She can't. Yeah, that was the conversation.
And so why do you hate her?
I just feel like she's like ruined my life. I feel like the things I had to do with my son when I was raising my son's 18 now, and it was things that, because she's an orphan, and so she having her as trying to raise my son, and I was full-time military at the time, and it was hell. It was absolute hell. And I talked to you before. You did a counseling, so this story is going to sound familiar. And then one day she asked me to have a baby, and I was like, no, I don't really want one. And then next thing I know, she just popped up pregnant. And then I find out she was taking all of these medicines to get pregnant behind my back. And I'm really just doing this because I don't want my son to come from a broken home. But it seems like he's grown now, but it seemed like the more and more I tried to help him, he just ended up, he damn near don't even like me. It just seems like it made it worse. And I was trying to do the right thing. That's why I asked you what's right.
Oh, I see.
Because I was trying to do the right. And to me, that was right.
But you were trying not to raise them in a broken home, but you raised them in a broken home. Because,
And I see that, and he still don't like me.
right, because you and that wife wasn't one, you were broken. So and that's why things didn't work for you. What made you stay with her for so long? Why not get away from her in the beginning when you realized what you had married?
Because I'm retired military, and when you military and you have a baby by someone and you just in one of these random duty stations, if you leave, you may never see that baby again. And so, I just decided to I just wanted to keep my son around.
But it didn't do you any good or the son for you to want that. You're saying the son don't like you anyway now. And the mother screwed him up anyway, right?
Yes, sir. I mean, hindsight is 2020. I was 18 at the time, and
Yeah.
I'm black, and I just
You
didn't
black.
want to be the stereotypical deadbeat dad. But guess what I'm about to be now?
Right.
The stereotypical deadbeat dad because of this baby. And I know now that I can't do that, but that's why I asked you, how do you know what's right? Because I don't know. I felt like I was trying to do the right thing, but it was right for, I don't know.
Right.
I guess it wasn't the right thing.
It wasn't. The one thing I want you to know, in spite of what you've gone through with this woman, according to what you've said, is that it's still not her fault that you feel the way you feel, because you were already screwed up when she met you, and she was screwed up when you met her. And so two screwed up people got together and created more hell. And then they made a baby in hell, and now that baby created more hell, right? And so
Yes, sir.
this woman is not to blame. And I know I believe you when you say she was difficult. And the only reason that you couldn't deal with her in the right way was because you can't deal with you in the right way. If you can deal with your world in the right way within you, you can deal with all people and all situations in a perfect way. But it starts with you first.
Yes, sir.
So here's what I recommend, that you stay with the silent prayer. And from this day forward, never blame her or anyone for the way you feel. If you want to overcome her, if you want to overcome the hell in you, you got to stop blaming anyone for the way you feel, because what is happening inside of you, in your imagination and in your emotions. If you didn't have those things, then no one can make you feel any kind of way. So you got to stop blaming her for that.
Yes, sir.
And I want to encourage you to just watch what you're thinking and feeling and do nothing about it, so you can die from those feelings. God would take all of those feelings. They're not from him, right? They're all demons and they're evil. He will take them away from you.
Yes, sir.
And you'll be free. And if you want to stay with this woman, you'll stay. And if you want to leave, you'll leave. You'll just leave.
But how would I make that decision? You say ain't no decision to make. I would just leave.
Right. You'll see that you have the wrong woman. It was never meant for you to be with her. And you'll be able to walk away from it.
Yes, sir.
And the only reason you have not walked away from it, because you didn't make them up, but Satan made up these dumb ideas of why you should stay. Oh, you have a son with this woman. Or if you leave the military, you're never going to see your son again. Or the money thing will change. Or whatever. You will listen to evil, and evil kept you in your hell, in that physical hell and in your mental hell. You got to stop consulting. You got to stop believing thoughts. They're all lies all the time.
Yes, sir.
And when you stop believing thoughts, you can't help but believe God.
Yes, sir.
His voice would be the only one that you would listen to, and not the devil's voice.
Yes, sir.
What do you think about that?
I believe you. It sounds good. It sounds good.
But
easier said than done.
You only have one child with this woman?
No, I have two. You must have missed that part. That's the part that I was saying. I'm gonna end up being a deadbeat dad anyway. I don't think you caught that part.
Oh,
Yeah.
because she
But
had.
yeah, I have another one.
How old is that one?
4?
Oh, yeah. One thing that fathers do, which is a big mistake, and once again, it's because they're listening to their imagination and their thoughts. They stay with these women because, well, they try to stay with them because they have children. They're afraid of losing their children. And when they do that, they have put the child before God. They have put the child before what is right. And whatever you put first in your life is what's going to control you. And then you're still going to end up losing the child anyway. If the mother is that kind of person, most mothers are, they control you by keeping your child away from you, or making it difficult for you to see your child or whatever, right? And it's because they know that that child means more to you than God himself. And they use that against you. That's what the world would do too, your family members, your friends, whatever's important to you, that's what they'll use against you to try to control you. Well, you must not. If you want to be free, you must not. You cannot. You ain't not. Will not love anyone or anything, including yourself, more than what is right. You must put that first in your life. You must put God first. The Spirit of the Father must be first. Otherwise, the world will control you and you will never be at peace.
Yes, sir.
So just watch those thoughts. And if you got to leave, go. But don't blame her for what you feel. She got her problem, you got yours, and they are inside of each one of you. And she has her own, has nothing to do with you. You have your own, has nothing to do with her. And you'll be fine if you stop blaming. Your parents were the reason you became that way, but you are the reason that you have not overcome because you have not let go of the anger. You have not let go of the thoughts.
Yes, sir.
So work on that and you'll be fine.
Yes, sir.
And if you got to leave, only you, not her, not me, or not anyone can make that decision. You do what you see you need to do, and don't follow the rules of the world because the world has set us up. They have told us you gotta stay there. You're not a man if you don't stay there. You're not a good man if you don't fight for your kids in court. You're not. They're lying to you.
Telling me now.
Yeah, they're lying to you. They are setting you up to suffer even more so. Do not cut the baby in half. Let the baby go. And you seek the kingdom of God and you'll be fine.
Yes, sir.
Because they'll have you, these losers that tell you, oh, you need to fight. What kind of man that don't fight for his children, right? They're setting you up because they're losers. And they're just setting you up to waste all your money and your time. And then you're still becoming even emotional because you fought for your kids. You still don't get them.
And they still don't like me.
Right, and they still don't like you. Why not let them go?
I'm taking them to the recruiter after we get off the phone. But no, I wish I ain't gonna say I wish I did, but it didn't work. It didn't work the way I thought it was going to.
It's never going to work the way you think it's going to work. Thinking that it's going to work will make it not work. But if you just have a wait-and-see attitude and let it work on its own without your effort at all, it will work. But if you try to make it work, it ain't going to work. You, me, or no one is supposed to be working on trying to make anything work. Either it works naturally or it doesn't work at all.
Yes, sir.
So stop trying to make it work. It ain't going to work.
Yes, sir.
Let me know how it goes. I wish you well.
Yes, sir. You have a good day. Thank you for the call.
And thank you, too.
All right.
Amazing.